Hi, my name is Emily and my last name is Goodman. I prefer to go by my first name, Emily. I don't think my parents really thought about the meaning when they picked the name. I think they just liked the sound of it, but upon further research, it comes from the Latin word amulus, which means rival or to strive or to excel. I don't particularly relate to the meaning of my name. I'm not a very competitive person, but it's cool to know. So my experiences with math have been pretty positive overall. I don't really remember math too much from elementary school, which I think means that it was pretty manageable for me. No traumatic experiences there. I remember learning multiplication tables through songs, and that stuck with me for a really long time. So I enjoyed, the fun parts of math. I also remember being given Sudoku puzzles by a teacher as like a challenge, and I thought that was really fun and different. And so going into junior high school, I was placed in advanced math classes, and it definitely got more difficult there, and I started to enjoy it much less. I think it was really the class structure. In my junior high school and high school, there was a lot less group work in math class, and the teachers were just notoriously strict in the math department. So they moved pretty quickly from teaching a concept to expecting the students to do it independently, use those concepts independently. So there was just not a lot of time to work through things, and that was pretty stressful for me. I tend to like algebra and calculus more than geometry and statistics because I kind of like being given a formula or a way of solving a problem and just applying it to every one instead of, trying out different techniques and strategies. When I think too much about something, it gets a little overwhelming for me in math, at least. So that's just been my experience. So in terms of ideas that I've taken from my experiences that I would want to implement as a teacher, definitely one of them is giving students time to process and not putting students on the spot. And that comes from experiencing the opposite, where I was put on the spot to produce answers in certain math classes, and it was very intimidating for me, especially with math, which is a subject where there's usually just kind of one answer, one correct answer. It's really stressful to give an answer in front of a whole class and fear being wrong. So I think coming up with creative ways to, check students' comprehension without making them announce a number in front of the whole class, I think is key to decreasing stress in math class. Another idea I think is making math relatable and fun when possible. I remember I had a teacher in 4th grade who gave us word problems that had to do with her dog. It was like dog and dog treats, and I always really liked physics in high school, and it's a different topic, but also it was about moving things and real life situations, and I think having things to relate to, practical uses for math is just interesting. So I think making math problems authentic to students is really key to keeping up motivation too. Being able to connect with the material you're learning definitely adds to motivation in wanting to solve the problems. Also, I think that it's really good to grade students on steps rather than a final answer. That was something I benefited from a lot when I had teachers who graded individual steps, because I would forget to write things a lot of the time. Just going too fast, I would forget to write out a step, or I would miswrite the final answer, and knowing that I could get some points for the work that I did show was really helpful to me, and I think that would just be helpful for students in general. I think out-of-school experiences definitely have an impact on a student's attitude towards math, especially a parent's willingness to expose their child to real-world math. I think parents are really eager to read to their kids and talk about nature science and cultural history, all these different academic subject areas, but they're really hesitant to show their kids math. but there's so much practical math around us, and shopping and measuring and budgeting. So I think, breaking the stigma around math and exposing kids to it earlier is key to helping them do better in school. And that's it for me. Thanks.